They they believe it was a good movie, and good for them. Good.
Yeah. Some people said they thought that it won because it had something to do with the previous film that the black actor was in previously. Um,
Marshall, huh?
yeah, I forgot the name of it, but it won Best Picture either last year or the year before. So some people said that they thought that his presence or power from that movie played a role.
I saw
in this one.
previews, and they had great cast. Both actors are fantastic. So for the casting, I can see.
You know, the little boy was in Black Panther, like right at the very end.
I didn't see the movie, so I don't know. I
Yeah,
will
he's
see
in
it. I will see it.
Like right at the very end, he's there. Oh no, he's in this too. Yeah. But I mean, you know, people. It must have done well. I mean, it won the Super Bowl of all awards, so not like they had a gun to somebody's head and said, "Make this movie a star," you know.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's a pretty good movie. Otherwise, it would not have gotten a nomination and, of course, a win for Best Movie, because it got a lot of nominations on acting as well and other sections, divisions. So it has to be good.
Speaking of movies, I want to see the new one. Looks like half cartoon, half real Avatar or something like that, where you know the black actors in it. And there's like a female superhero in it or something.
Is it the Marvel, Mr. Captain Marvel?
No, it's although that's kind of intriguing too, because the first Captain Marvel was a man. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. And so they changed the whole gender.
No, it's
There's a woman.
Brie Larson.
Yeah.
I think
But
it's Brie Larson.
there's
right?
I think it's an Abilar or something. It's like, it's something like, I don't know. It just looks like the heroine is like a cartoon character, and like there's people in it that are real, physical. Or maybe I'm kind of mixing it up, but it looks interesting. It looks very interesting.
I don't know. We're gonna have to find out which movie is that.
Yeah.
But,
So now, what can you see yourself? What should we be looking for? You like if you had all the resources, all the actors you wanted to use, what kind of movie would you make?
these two that I'm telling you
Or
about.
the three that you.
Yeah, I wanna do that because actors slash I've got a lot of followers that have connected with me because they want to do something together, and they have come to my mixers. I've done 3 already, and it's been great. Not only actors come, directors and producers come because they want to know what we're up to, or they want to know if we're a threat, and we're not a threat. We're not trying to take their jobs away. They actually want to work with us.
Is she spreading? Is she some sort of new germ that's going to take over?
Yeah. So no, it's been pretty cool, and I think I just want that collaboration. I think we should help one another. We should put our strength together and create things together and support one another.
Passionately.
Especially like if I see that you won this award, well, I'm going to go and like it. I'm going to go and comment it. I'm going to spread the word, because nowadays everybody's trying to do like get their own campaigns to cross fund their shows or their movies, and the best way to start with is with the people who you know. And because I want them to support me too, right? Or whatever I do, and bring them in and be part of my projects. So that's what I see myself.
Oh, cool.
In where I am right now, and I want it to grow and bring more people in, and then help each other.
I guess there's probably a lot of people
Great together.
thinking. There's probably people that are going to watch this and they'll think, what else? Because there's always something else. There's always, or maybe you've incorporated all your wants into doing. But is there anything else that you wish that you were involved in, like politics or cooking, or is there any other genre of life that you could see
Well,
yourself
tourism
getting into?
did it for me. And that's how I met my husband, Justin, actually. We both were hotel concierges, and that's probably why we speak so much. We like talking
Yeah.
to people, to meet new people. And I met him outside of a museum in a concierge congress for Le Clé d'Or, the Golden Keys, up in Seattle. And when I say congress, apparently that's not a very common word in the U.S., but it's like a convention of different concierge. And Justin was one of the hosts, so he was working on the organizing department for the Congress in Seattle. And
Was it
that,
love at first sight?
what do you mean?
Like love at first sight, like when
Oh,
Cupid
yeah.
pulls the arrow, bam.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, except he was in one city and I was in the other one, and at the beginning we didn't believe we will see each other again.
Wow.
And then 5 years later we
Serendipity,
reconnected. Yeah. Actually, yeah. And then 5 years later, my
Wow.
dear friend Marco found Justin, because that story that I wrote, the one that I told that I put on a drawer for 15 years, I at the end when I finished the book, I said, no, the main male character cannot be Mexican. I want him to be a foreigner person. So I named him after my husband, and he's going to be from Seattle, la la la. He doesn't look anything like Justin, my husband, but I named him Justin. And then my friend liked it, liked the idea, and he was like, you should find Justin. And he hunt him down, asked around, and he found him, and then we reconnected. We were dating long distance, back and forth every 3 weeks, every month, until we became super poor, because we were just paying plane tickets and working overtime just to be able to have extra time together and pay for our plane tickets. And then I decided that now that I'm taking the story again, definitely I'm not going to name the main character Justin. I'm going to change the name. I don't want him to be, because he's nothing like Justin, the real Justin, or like my husband. It's not based on his real life or anything.
Justin was telling me he's a digital advertiser. I was like, oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, he does digital marketing.
He told me some things that made me. I tend to like thriller stuff, and it makes me think about all the different types of technology and how it could be utilized for wrong. You know, because they can seriously track. He's telling me they could track you to the city, to the age.
Of course, they
everything.
can tell you where they. So there is something called. Actually, Justin is in the room next door, but
He says not Arbitron, it's not Nielsen. I
no, it's on the internet. It is the Cariño, Justin. I think he has his headphones, but they can track down, like through Google Analytics, for instance. You can link it to your website and your social medias, and they can track down where's the audience coming from, when is the best time for you to post something, when is Justin is here. He's asking a little bit about social media, so I'm telling them
about your digital
how can they
marketing.
Yeah,
Oh,
come
is
and
that
join
okay?
us.
Yeah.
So this is Justin Regis, everybody, my husband, and so we were talking about
Hello, everybody.
a lot of things. Actually, I'm glad he came, because he can explain why it's important to have a social media presence or like internet presence as an actor or as anyone.
Yeah.
That's true.
And how can you track down, is it possible to know who sees you more, what time, when is the best time for your followers or your audience
So
to post? So
yes, that's true.
Justin has a company called Regis Social Media.
Yes, I also do social media consulting for actors as well as for small companies. I do have experience working on the paid media side, which is with Facebook ads and Instagram ads. For an actor, I would say, even if you have a project, organic, even though Facebook has now limited your organic reach, it's exceptionally important to still produce content and get it out there. And then that helps create...
Like YouTubers.
Yeah,
like
like YouTubers or such. You need to... It's still important to create relevant content for the search engines to constantly...
Search engines, that's the
It's
word.
quite
Constantly...
YouTubers are the people who create content on YouTube? Like you probably are a YouTuber because you're going to upload this on YouTube, right?
But no, actually, this is first going to go through Pasadena Media, through a channel called the Arroyo channel,
Nice.
and then from there to AT&T's Uverse.
Got it. Oh, for Uverse,
And
right.
then bam, then we can do what we want.
And then you can do what you want for that.
Yeah.
For like your own social following or something.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd say if you're not doing paid, if you're not doing Facebook advertising or Instagram advertising, on Facebook you can still go into what's known as your page or your audience insights. So you can go into your business page. You want to make sure you have a brand page on your for your social presence.
Mhm.
So, well, Vange, my wife, has her own professional business page.
Mhm.
It used to be a brand page in Facebook, and I think they call it.
Vange.tapia.com. You'll see it, right? You'll put it there.
So you always want to have that. In fact, it's actually best to separate your personal and your brand page.
Mhm.
Because even though your brand might be your personality,
Mhm.
you want to have, in a sense, you want to keep your personal account separate. One, it's for your own like
For
liability,
security,
for
your
security.
personal life.
For the second reason is that you can really mine the data on your business side of you by going into the audience insights. Facebook offers that in the settings, and you can check to see who is it that looks at your page.
Mhm.
Usually it's mostly demographic information, such as the age range of someone, or male or female, or Facebook will allow that for what part of the region they're in, if they're from out of the country or not. You can also mine that even further with a little bit more information about what they like. Facebook will allow some general categories. I kind of overheard a little bit what you were saying. You really would get a lot more information off of your website. The social networks only share a little bit of that information. And if I may, you gotta keep your information. Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter.
Twitter,
Those are the three.
any of the social networks, you sign a contract with them, and you say, I want to use your service, and they say, you can use our service for free, and you can do all these things.
But
and
we own it.
the fine print is they have access to all of it.
Mhm.
And of course, you see those things online like, oh, I'm going to post this and Facebook won't be allowed to share your information. That's fake. That's not true. Facebook already has all your information. In fact, Facebook knows more about you than even if you did block. I personally block my personal settings. But by knowing who I know, Facebook knows who I am. They don't need me necessarily. They can just go like, oh, well, you know this person, this person, this person. You hang out with these people. Therefore, we know that you most likely are going to do this, or you must be interested in this.
Tell us, how can they use it? How can they use your information? Like, for instance, just, my mom just sent me a message, and she's like, we bought a domain for my mom, a domain for her digital magazine with one company. Now we move with the other one. But now she's getting all these
Pricey.
commercials about that company. She's like, how come I see them everywhere now? It's the cookies. They registered, like if you look for pans, or we were looking on changing our bed. So we were looking for mattresses. And now suddenly on Facebook, Instagram, everything we Google, because we were Googling, or we were looking, searching for mattresses. So now our computer sends this information, these cookies. You want to go incognito, right? That's the best.
Well,
they still do that too, right?
Yeah, it
And
doesn't
also,
matter.
before you get into that, I got a friend who lives in Chicago, but he tells me he makes over $30,000 a year doing like as an affiliate or something with different companies.
Affiliate marketing.
And he keeps trying to tell me how to do it. I'm like, I don't understand it.
It's really, CPA, affiliate marketing has a real promise to it, but you do need to, well, your friend's doing probably rather well at it. It does, there's like special networks. ClickBank is one, or JV Zoo is another one. There's the affiliate network is really all about you become that person to drive traffic to
Right.
whatever the product or service is.
Mhm.
And you drive traffic to a product or a service by distributing that. And by doing that, typically you start running ads.
Mhm.
And then you set up, using the Facebook pixel, you set it up so if someone goes to your website or if they express interest in it, that pixel, that code basically triggers in a series of events where you have ads that then follow that person around.
Mhm.
So yeah, oh my gosh, so many great examples about shopping for a mattress. We had typed it shopping in a mattress, and then on YouTube, on everywhere, we started to get those mattress ads. Usually they'll come out like around President's Day,
Mhm.
but it's very funny to have a mattress ad like pop up like in August or in September. You know, it's like, well, that's not really the retail. That's not really the time for retail to have like necessarily a mattress ad.
It also happens with stores, like retail stores, like I don't know, I don't want to give names,
You can't
but
shake
like
it, huh? It's
like
just
you
yeah.
go
Oh, yeah,
buy
no,
something and you return it, and they said, okay, we'll put it back on your credit card. You're like, how does that mean? Because they kept your information,
have
your
your data.
credit card, your name, everything. So then it goes back to your credit card.
Mhm.
It's convenient, but they have your information already.
Mhm.
So
And they will send you a lot of, okay, so if you bought diapers, then they're going to start mailing you probably information about babies,
coupons,
coupons,
coupons.
and everything. Like, how do they know I have a baby, for instance? Which I don't, but it's an example.
Then, and so for actors or producers, you definitely want to have, you want to just be able to start mining your own information. Now, usually for an actor, it's not that, like an actor necessarily wouldn't necessarily need to know, like, oh, well, my demographic looks to be about, people in their late 20s to their 30s, and they're females. But if that actor was to, or say like you have a show, you could mine the data on your show. And that's what it's called, data mining. You're just looking at the statistics and you're looking at all the numbers. And you might say like, oh, I see that my show, I seem to be getting a lot of people who are in Nevada, who are looking at this. You could then start tailoring content toward that. It's sort of about trying to find a niche. You put the information out there, you then try and find a niche out of that, and then you build upon that. Gosh, I don't know if that's a good example or not.
No, it's
Just don't say
a
names.
pretty good example.
Yeah, there's
Targeting.
essentially it's targeting. And actually, what it's helpful is, in a way, like we do this on the paid media side. We typically sort of almost blast it out to most likely type of people. We get some data from that, and then from that we start going like, okay, who's our affinities? Who are the people who are most likely going to do this? When we figure out like, well, they're from this area, from this area, from this area. Then we do another round where it's tailored to those areas. Once you get your core, your base locked in, then you can start extrapolating off of that. So it's almost like a strategy of you put it out there to everybody.
Profiling.
It's digital profiling. Kind of in a
Age group,
commercial
race, kinda.
age group and race. Yeah. Now education level. Facebook got in huge trouble last year with that whole Cambridge Analytica mess, where they realized that they were sort of letting everybody just have access to really detailed data, particularly around politics and all that. So they had to voluntarily restrict that. So now you can't necessarily get a lot of information that you could have last year. Google has also done the same thing. They've restricted the type of information, but you still have basic information that you can do. So, yeah.
So like, for instance, I have 2 accounts for Facebook.
Yeah.
I have my private account with family only and close friends that are not related to entertainment. And then I have another one where I have you. It's also private, but it's only for entertainment related.
Okay.
And then I have my fan page, which is public. And my fan page has my work, which probably I share the same. But I try not to share anything about my family. Or like friends only if it's friends in the entertainment industry. But that goes on the entertainment account. So I try to keep it. Instagram, I only have one, and it's public, and I don't have my family there. And they don't follow me, they don't like anything, because we just try to protect ourselves. We just try to protect our who we are and our identity, right? We want to keep public private some part of us. So
Boundaries. And
yeah, same on Twitter and things like that. We just try to just keep something for ourselves.
Yeah. It is. We're in an age now where you can voluntarily be private and block a lot of your information, and you'll never get knowledge of anything because it will. There's nothing there. You start to become like a digital
ghost,
kind of a ghost, and and I know some people who probably were like, well, that's a good thing. It probably is a good thing. My father is not at all. Doesn't even interest him.
Right.
He also doesn't have any idea what's going on, short of what he gets at the library. So it's like
telling my mother.
Right?
But it's like I keep trying to tell her, I've given up.
Yeah.
But it's like it's almost like reading a book. You don't have to have done it or have visited it, but you can do it in your mind. But with the internet and all that, you can reach out to people. I got friends in freaking Dubai and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
Sometimes we talk on the phone. I see them. Never met them.
Yeah. No,
Exactly.
you can be now.
You're not an exile.
No. Yeah. You can have like a book is a great example. You could both read the book. You, however, could have like a forum, like join a forum online and chat with someone around the world and get a totally different perspective on it, or have a discussion about it. Whereas someone who reads the book is, I wouldn't say limited, but they now have a smaller sample size. Oh, what'd you think about it? Oh, it was fine. Oh, okay, great. This is fine. Where you could have like a whole layer of it, and yeah, there's something nice to have that simplicity, and it's also nice to have access to all this information. We have a ton of information out there.
And then something that is happening a lot with actors, they're buying followers or buying likes.
Oh yeah, I'd like to speak to that.
And like suddenly I get a lot of followers, and they're actors/producers. Me as Vange.vo, and same as actors/. So then you're like, the courtesy, the right thing to do is to follow them back. If they are in the same thing that interests you, and then when you follow them back, they unfollow you. So they have one more like. That's very dishonest.
Well, yeah.
You know what I started doing? I started going through all my friends, and I was like, oh, I follow this person because they got hundreds of friends, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know who the hell this is. Who knows what the hell this person's trying to pull? I just started cutting all of them out.
Well, you're doing it because you don't know them really, but then you shouldn't have followed them in the first place.
I know, but I was like kind of, oh yeah, well you claim you know this one, that one.
That's also pretty fair.
Oh, yeah.
That's also pretty fair. That's probably you follow them because you like them. They were showing something that interests you, but if in the run, in the run maybe they stop sharing cool things and you don't want to follow them anymore. That's perfectly fine. But if you just do it for the like, and once they like you back, you remove them. That's what the heck.
If I can address it a moment, it's very tempting to be now. It's called like an influencer. And
everybody calls themselves influencers.
And there's actually you go well. Anyway, you have an influence. You have a layer of influence.
Yeah, but I will never say, "Oh, guys, I'm an influencer," because I'm not in there are levels.
There's levels of influence.
But you can usually tell when a person's really an influencer.
You can.
Like you're an influencer. I know a guy that's really a big influencer. But then there's people, I guess they're starting out as influencers. But when you ask them how are you impacting people to influence them, if they start out with that, but that's like, oh hell no, you're not an influencer.
Yeah, no.
You're influencing yourself.
The ones that are saying like, I'm a big influencer. You know what? Don't lead with that. Just don't. If you're saying like, I'm an influencer, chances are you're not. You're not.
I know tons of a couple of famous singers that I'm not gonna say names, but they have, or actors who have thousands of hundreds of thousands of followers.
Mhm.
So then they hire them, and then they do this movie, and the movie didn't do well. None of the, like, not that many followers went to see the movie, for instance, or went to the concert. So that's when you see is don't fall for social media only, because they probably were followers bought on the internet or likes.
Oh,
Bought.
I can speak to that too. There's a. Oh, I didn't mean to.
And then organically,
Mhm.
I remember this friend, she actually buys, but once you buy the followers, you also have to buy their likes, because they don't know you, they don't care about you, they're going to start disliking you. So then your follower rank is going to go down. And then to keep it that way, you're going to have to keep paying.
Yeah.
Then same as the likes, if you see that someone has 50,000 likes, but one post has only 20 likes, then you can tell he bought the followers. Because how come you have so many followers, but the engagement is very small of the post? So actually focus on the engagement rather than the followers itself.
That's true. Yeah.
Like if one post has 1,350, I don't know, as many, and you have very little followers, that's possible. That's actually possible.
In
Because
fact,
that means the post itself is interesting.
is actually interesting. Yeah, there are. I mean, again, there are people who have become successful influencers.
And it's organically done.
And you can. A strategy that I discovered a couple of years ago, and initially I thought, like, this is outrageous, but it appears to work, is where a company perhaps buys followers and then attempts to keep a lot of content going so that those followers then are going, oh, okay, yeah, this is something I want.
I'm staying here.
I'm staying here. I'm sticking around. So the goal is, like, they'd start with a base and then try and keep those followers engaged so that they would eventually be something that they could pitch an idea or pitch a product to. I've recently worked with a company where we were going to analyze their Instagram followers to try and get some data to, well, maybe run some ads to the people that like it. And this is a company that sells
Ads to send to your own followers.
Right. And this
If
is
the followers are bought,
well, and that's what we
They're
discovered
fake.
is that this company sells only to the United States, and 80% of their followers are split between Brazil and India. And we're like, how do you have so many followers in Brazil and India, and you don't sell or do anything in those countries? And then they said, oh, well, we went and bought some followers. Like, well,
that's one of the bad
this
things.
is going to be useless. We can't, unless you're going to start selling to India and Brazil. Running any ads to these people is not going to, you're going to just waste all your money. Because they're not going to even be able to purchase, even if they wanted to. So yeah, watch your followers. Buy them if you have to, but it's a vanity metric. It's a
vanity metric.
It's basically like, oh, look, I've got 100,000 followers. But if they're all from, no offense, but if they're all from Russia, it's not really going to do you any good.
They're from somewhere that you don't need them to follow you, unless
Yeah.
it's organically, and they.
Yeah, I mean, unless you create some viral thing
That's more
took
like
off.
in the selling aspect. But as an actor, you're also selling yourself.
Yeah.
So my audience will be more actors, directors, producers, writers, of course, fans.
And
But-
if I may, that's another thing. Don't try and pitch yourself as an influencer saying that, oh, I've got all these followers, because a business is going to reach to want to
find out.
vet that.
And they have the sort.
And there is software that does that. So if I was to go up and go, hey, I'm a famous actor. I'm not an actor. I'm a famous actor. I've got all these followers. You should, give me a free
Interactions or something.
give me a free stay at your hotel. A hotel's going to go, oh, okay, and they're going to look to see your followers. If they see
And your engagement. the
and your
posts.
engagement, if they see that, gosh, yeah, at the hotel.
You
I was
had
at.
one in a hotel.
Yeah, I was at hotels, and this influencer was saying, like, I'm a huge influencer on food and fine dining. I want to eat at your restaurant for free. I want, I'm going to have this. I'd like to have this free restaurant meal, and I will make a post about it. And we're all like, wow, gee, that's that could be like several hundreds of dollars. Take a look at this person. You can look in their feed. They have nothing about food at all. Their Instagram feed was all about travel, but nothing about food at all. So it's like, well, then you're not really posting about food. You're just
She's
trying
not
to be,
a foodie.
you're
She
not a
just
you're
wants
not a foodie.
free meal.
You're not a food influencer. You just want a free meal.
Mm-hmm.
So no, kick rocks.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fair when you're starting. If they like your style, you can do it. You can try.
Sure, I would. Here's the secret for Instagram: sunsets, kittens,
Babies,
babies,
everything that is cute.
drinking a glass of wine. In fact, drinking a glass of wine with a sunset and a kitten blows it up. Post that, blows it
Now
up.
you got 2 shows here.
There you go, ladies and
One-
gentlemen.
One for social media and the other one for Vange Tapia.
Yeah.
Actor slash
Oh my
Vange
gosh,
Tapia,
wow.
everything.
Oh, I should have fixed my
So, that's the way to find you on social media?
Vange Tapia. So you're gonna put it there, right? In actors slash, remember 2 S together, actors
actors
slash
yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
and Vange
And how can
Tapia.
they reach you to get your services?
Oh gosh, I can be found on
Justin Regis.
Yeah, Justin Regis. Look for Justin
Speaking as
Regis.
social media guy who doesn't
Oh, your GIS?
No, his website is Regis Social Media.
RegisSocialMedia.com, and I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can just type that in. You'll find me.
Justin Regis.
There you go. Thank you so much for inviting me to your home.
Thank you.
Oh, a pleasure.
Thank you so much,
Coming.
sir.
Certainly, absolutely.
Thanks for being great, and we'll be looking forward to seeing some great, great works from you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Thank
This has
you.
been Nuclear Popcorn. I'm Maurice Smith.
Thank you, Nuclear
Bye-bye.
Popcorn.
Thank you, Nuclear Pop.
I love it.
Cool.
Bye now. Cool.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Well, that was cool. I didn't mean to. I heard you talking about Google.